scenes. Well, let's now go to Dover and join our Home Affairs and Security Editor, Mark White, who is there for us. Good afternoon to you, Mark. Bring us up to date with what's been happening today.
Well, more in the way of significant migrant activity in the Channel, as we really expected, because weather conditions have improved. For the last 10 days or so, it's been pretty horrendous in the Channel, which has prevented any of these small boats making the crossing. But it got a bit better yesterday, even better today, and that's why we've seen quite a bit of migrant activity. And at the moment, it's looking like there will be well in excess of 400 small boats that are tried to cross the Channel, not boats but people. As we speak, actually, there is another Border Force vessel coming in, some Border Force personnel coming down the gangway here, as just emerging there is the catamaran, the Border Force vessel Hurricane. This is the second time that this vessel has been into Dover Harbour this morning to offload migrants that they have picked up from several small boats in the Channel. This is one of the bigger Border Force vessels. This morning when this vessel came into Dover, it offloaded about 40 migrants. I can see from here actually that there is a significant number of migrants both at the bow of the vessel and at the stern of the vessel, and also by the looks of it inside as well. So I think it has gone to multiple incidents in the Channel where it has picked up people from a number of small boats and then it's brought them here. I should say that there are two other larger Border Force vessels still out in the Channel as well, the Border Force cutter Seeker and the Border Force cutter Searcher. They, we understand, have also picked up a number of migrants as well. So you can see, following a familiar pattern here, as the day has progressed, more and more migrants are being intercepted making that crossing. And this has been a real sort of tester for the French President Emmanuel Macron, who had this row in the aftermath of the deaths of 27 people in the Channel last month. And Emmanuel Macron had said that he was going to bolster his security forces down in on the French beaches as well. We're just going to give you a quick shot. This is one of the Border Force ribs coming in now as well, and it is towing one of these inflatable boats that would have carried the migrants across to this Channel. Now that rib will bring this boat right up to where we're standing here, place it alongside more than half a dozen other boats that have been brought in to the harbour this morning. So this gives you an indication of the type of flimsy vessel really that these migrants pack onto. And quite often they will have, 40 odd people on a boat that size, which is obviously slightly out of the way. You can see it now. There's been an adaptation in the design of these boats as well, Darren, where they've sort of given them an upturned bow there, so that they can better cope with the waves even on the choppier days in the Channel. This all part and parcel of the people smugglers, the criminal gangs, growing in sophistication and knowing what works in terms of getting these migrants across to the UK, which of course is their end goal. And back at the Border Force vessel Hurricane there is a number of Border Force personnel down beside that boat waiting to escort the people who are on the boat off, and then they'll head up a gangway here to the makeshift reception centre, which is effectively a couple of big marquees at the top of the gangway where they'll be processed, details taken, and then they will be formally entered into the UK asylum system, a process of course that we know can last several years before there is ever a conclusion to that process, and often it results in many of them being allowed to stay here in the UK. So they know, as these people now on board that boat start to stand up with a view to, in fact they're being told, I think, by the Border Force personnel officer on board there to sit back down. They're not quite ready to take them off as yet. They will have been on this boat, by the way, for quite a few hours today, because when that vessel Hurricane left port here, it was, we could see on the marine traffic system there that it was heading out and up and down the coast to a number of different locations to intercept vessels. You can see the first of the people from Hurricane now being escorted by those officers off that vessel, and as I say, they will come up onto the gangway. It is a familiar walk that our viewers will have seen so many times over the last year or two, and certainly on GBNews since our channel has been operational. We have covered many of these days in which significant numbers of migrants have made the crossing, and once again today, as I said before, it's going to be well in excess of 400, probably nearer 500 migrants by the close of play today. And of course, the day is not over. We still have active incidents in the channel at the moment.
White, Home Affairs and Security Editor there, with the latest of those scenes in Dover of migrants arriving. What in December, as I say, pretty unusual for this time of the year, but a scale, I think, of the political challenge facing Priti Patel, the Home Secretary. Mark, thank you